In today's video, me and Cosmos are cycling to Gravelines, a French city that has been in the news lately as a hotspot for small boat voyages full of migrants going to the UK. But the voyage won't stop at just seeing the sights. We want to retrace these migrant steps as best as we can and try to tap into the emotions they feel before a crossing attempt. So in order to accomplish that, we will be sleeping rough for the night in Gravelines, and we will only be eating dry foods that would be readily available for migrants in their camps. We've arrived at our first crossroads. What's it called, Cosmos?
Basically it's a maritime French-Belgian bike highway which will go across the coast.
Alright, so join us on the coastal highway. We'll see. Yeah, this navigation is going super well so far. Our highway already ended, so I don't really know. We were supposed to go on this for how many miles?
For 3 hours straight.
3 hours, okay. We made it 10 minutes on the maritime highway, and now we're already off. I don't know if this is a crossroad or what. Luckily, we were able to find the route to get back onto the highway, and Cosmos was able to start enjoying the food he packed. It's also important to note that the bike highway not only exists, but it's in great shape. The highway officially brought us to France. I don't know what town we're in, but we've seen the French flag, and Cosmos is readjusting to do the rest of the journey. Vive la France! Alright, so we have our first glimpse of the coast.
Yeah.
That we should be following.
So to see some seagulls.
Now, in that direction somewhere lies the UK.
So in front of us there's Dunkirk on the horizon.
Yeah.
And from what it looks, it's super dystopian. It looks like some industrial hellhole with fire going out of something I can only guess is oil refineries.
Yeah. Let's continue on. Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you a skilled enough biker to go through this?
I could, but there's no point. Let's just go to the normal bike path. One interesting thing to note about this bike highway is that it is made along either a tramway, which is not being used anymore, or a train route, because we saw some tracks which of course aren't good anymore. By the way, we just heard a train, but anyways, and now they're all rusty and stuff, they're not being used, but maybe it's something left from, I don't know, before World War II even.
After passing the train tracks, we continued on our route and started to realize how desolate some parts of the path were. But we continued on our way to Dunkirk. Nice, that looks really appetizing.
It's amazing, it's delicious, nutritious and healthy.
Onward. Oh! So, we had arrived in Dunkirk thanks to Cosmos's tremendous navigational skills, but the city itself proved to not be the most bicycle friendly, at least when compared to the rest of the maritime bike highway. Okay, so here's the first evidence we have of migration. It's warning migrants essentially to reconsider crossing via small boat. And Cosmos caught that. Good job. Good journalism.
It's actually a pretty recent deal that UK and France made. So the idea is when some migrants are being deported, or they're coming to the UK illegally, they now can be deported to France. It's like a sort of agreement the French government made with the UK one, but the numbers are not specifically said yet. It was called to be 1-for-1, so supposedly one in UK, one in France, but in reality it doesn't work this way, and I think the UK judges are actually blocking the deportations for the moment.
After seeing our first sign of the migrant crisis, we weren't so sure of what to expect. But we were about to be extremely caught off guard. So after encountering our first migrants, we saw the police immediately. Yeah, Cosmos?
We did, actually. They even stopped for a second. Oh, look at that, Vince.
Okay. Well, first we need to eat our lunch, man. After making it through Dunkirk into the town of Loon-Plage, we came across a massive migrant camp. The camp was littered with trash, and due to that, infested with rats. The conditions were absolutely inhumane. One thing that can be said is that we found electrical wire leading to a power source, so it appeared that some residents had figured out how to get electricity well in the camp. We ended up not including parts of the footage out of respect for some residents of the camp who didn't want to be filmed.
So
I'll film this, and then let's turn back. Oh, rat.
there's a rat somewhere there in the trash. Okay. I don't think we're gonna venture any deeper, would we? There's a whole encampment here behind some sort of gate. There's like a makeshift gate in there. I also hear some sort of animals.
People coming, so
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm basically approaching one of these encampments, which seem to be official. From one of the guys, we understand that it's like an aid distribution site, but we have to confirm. I'm not gonna film until I know that I'm cleared for it, so I'm just gonna give like a glimpse at what's coming in. But other than that,
Okay.
so I just went in. It's a very interesting thing. Basically, there are organizations which are distributing aid among the migrants. When I tried to talk to one of them, they actually refused all of the interviews. They're very like comprehensive towards journalists. So I asked them. I wasn't filming, obviously, because I wasn't allowed to, and I'm not gonna cross that line. But there are organizations, people there speak English. It's some sort of international volunteers or something. And there's one organizer who also speaks perfect English, by the way. And they basically refuse to talk to me, even off camera, off the record, by saying that they don't want to provide any information on the location of the people. But it is supposedly some sort of NGOs.
As we cycled past the camp and into the town, we were able to get a better idea of the situation. We saw many migrants walking through the town and some even waiting for the bus with life jackets. It was as if they had nothing to hide, and that's the part that confused us the most. Even while editing this, I still can't wrap my mind around why or how nobody is stopping them from attempting the dangerous crossing. That's the beach, Gravelines. I believe that's probably where the group we saw was going. And onwards. You have the map up?
I do.
Alright, we're gonna have to play Frogger to get to Gravelines.
Let's go!
Alright. Great. Oh wow, it's a nice walking path. It was definitely created for cycling. Just wait. Alright, we're kind of in limbo with this crossing situation.
Yes,
We can't find the bike path to get to Gravelines, so
we kind of just have to go on a highway. That's the only option.
and try. Last shot with the bikes.
Yeah, we're gonna leave them somewhere in Carrefour. So we decided to go foot mode and, to be honest, bus mode.
I'm definitely sketched out to leave our bikes here overnight, but we'll see. Just gotta do what we gotta do to get to Gravelines.
We're leaving our bikes and we're gonna take the bus now.
It's great. Everything's good. So I'm refueling on some Golden Power Zero. Waiting at Maison Blanche. Cosmos is eating a waffle. And we will go beach camping shortly.
Santé.
Merci beaucoup. Another thing that we were really surprised by was that buses in the region were free. I know for a fact that in many other areas of France this is not the case. Upon arrival in Gravelines, we were shocked at how beautiful the town was. It seemed as though the same problems that existed in Loon-Plage were non-existent here, but that outlook would soon change. Alright, so the new idea is that we're going to look for somewhere to sleep. We'll go to port in the morning, and Cosmos will go to port in the morning. But maybe you'll sleep on this bench, I don't know.
Well, you'll be sleeping in a tent like you can.
Yeah.
It's literally train track.
Yeah, no idea why it's like that.
So after some discussion, me and Vince kind of agreed on the fact that we should do it here. It's basically just a bit off the coast, a bit higher. I was proposing to do a thing there, like kind of in a pit, but we just decided that it's not worth it really. There could be rats, there could be, well, we just decided to do it here, let's put it this way. Also, there's some sort of lighthouse in there, like here. Okay, now we're gonna be setting up the tent for the first time.
Godsend. Setting up our tent ended up being a complete failure, so me and Cosmos headed towards the benches to find a good spot to sleep for the night. Listen, if you're going to camp on the beach, make sure your tent is good for camping on the beach before you plan to do so. That was really stupid. Now we're homeless. That's fine. Technically we were homeless before, but we're homeless and tentless. So, and it's raining, so that's cool. Okay, what are your feelings about this report?
So now, as you can see, we're stranded here in the middle of nowhere. But it's okay, we don't need fucking sleep. We can function on the energy of the sun, and if the sun doesn't work for us like it does now, we're gonna function on the energy of the fucking night sky and the moon, which is also not here, by the way. So that's the mood for the night.
Alright, so this is the final iteration of MTV Cribs for the night. Got the blanket, got the poncho, tent thing, stay warm.
I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag with my shoes under there. I'm probably gonna put my backpack in the sleeping bag.
So yeah, this is the final iteration and we'll update you in the morning.
One of the main reasons that we're doing it this way is because we just want to feel like how people who have to do the boat crossing are probably feeling right now. They're camping somewhere waiting for the morning cross, and hopefully we can get something filmed, you know, tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. There we got Cosmos. Nice setup.
Okay, so basically you can see my setup here, but what's most concerning, we just got interrupted by a police dog and a policeman just scouring the coast, and he didn't care about me, by the way. I was just lying here with my sleeping bag, with my backpack in my legs, so nobody steals it from me. But the thing is, if we pitched that tent that we're intending to, we could be in a lot of trouble. So it's really interesting that they don't care, but the more time goes, the more I feel sort of, I don't want to make it sound disrespectful because it sounds like I'm almost cosplaying these people, but like seriously, this feels really bad to be in this position.
Yeah, so another very interesting thing to note is it almost seemed like it was a super common occurrence for him. He just kind of saw us laying on this bench, didn't think anything of it, and he actually made the dog calm down. Because actually the dog was who seemed really upset by our presence. He didn't, which is good and bad, but yeah, like as Cosmos said, it feels pretty depressing. And like, okay, this is like someone's reality each night, essentially, and you don't matter. You just sleep on a bench and nobody cares at all. So yeah, essentially, I think they're on some type of patrol.
Yeah, I also think so.
Likely. I mean, they probably patrol every single night, is my guess. Okay, so it's about 2 in the morning, and we just awoke to what sounded like a flare. We're not exactly sure what's going on, but we're gonna stay up a bit longer to see if anything comes of that. The police sort of sped off by us, asked us a question I didn't understand, and then just said migrants. And then I said, no, we're not, and we didn't see any. That's it. So we'll see. Maybe there's a boat in the water, maybe there's not. I don't know. Don't know if it's possible to see that, but it looks like there's going to be a search boat coming. I don't know. Something's going on. Most likely something was spotted off the coast. That's my guess.
So apparently something's really sketchy is going on there. This boat, it went all the way there where you can see the shining light. And after that it stopped. So we cannot hear the engine anymore. And now we can hear some sort of screaming, but I'm not sure, like shouting, but I'm not sure what exactly that is. Our theory, they could be picking up people on a sinking boat, because it all started with some sort of flare sound, but we didn't see any light or anything, so it's, yeah, just a guess. Alright, it's about 5 in the morning. Me and Cosmos just got about 2 hours of sleep. And then we were woken up by another couple of flares. We saw a drone in the sky, probably looking for another boat. And the police seem to be searching the beach again. So, could be the second boat of the night, or the same boat. We have no idea. Okay, we're packing up the camp. I was scared for a second that the police finally caught up with us. When you started flashing the
No.
It was such a rough night, like we were literally freezing. The police was circling every maybe 10 minutes or something, if not more.
It was every 30 and then every 10, basically. Yeah, this was a very rough night.
So what we are doing, instead of waiting for the morning, we're literally gonna take the first bus, because we kind of think that waiting an extra hour and a half is not gonna change much. The police presence is huge in here. There's drones, there's boats, there's cars, there's riot cars. So yeah, we're taking our bet and going with the first bus to take back our bikes.
That's our route back to our bikes.
Yes.
We're going home.
Merci.
Ligne 26 destination Gare Gravelines.
Our experience biking the Maritime Highway and seeing the migrant crisis with our own eyes was truly shocking. The main question we were left with after this experience was, how can the EU let this happen? Now, we aren't anti-migrant by any means, but the conditions these people are living in and the danger they face by crossing the channel is unnecessary. It's hard to say what might stop this cycle. There isn't one answer or any simple solution, but something definitely needs to change. I think that should be our train. I think we made it.